Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Alright, that sounds good to me. Got the mic a bit turned up today. Don't have to talk as loud, hopefully. Get the chat up. Let me tweet it out as well. Hi Brendan, thanks for joining. First couple people in here. Sorry, I was just sharing stuff on Twitter and Discord. I hope everyone's alright tonight. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Trying to keep it down a bit. But the mic should be fine. I've turned it right up. I bought a really fiery ginger beer. I don't normally like ginger beer that much, but I've been getting into it. But the fiery ones, kind of hard. Alright, I'm going to turn myself up even more. Let me just see what sound quality is like. Test, test, test. Sound too loud. Test, test, test. Does it sound okay if I talk like this, or is that too loud? Hi Hikmet, hey Jack, thanks for joining. So yeah, today we're going to talk about Iron Dome. Also going to talk about hopefully the Haitian stuff. We'll just see where the chat and the live stream conversation goes. I'm happy to talk about anything, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to wait for more people to get in before we start, because people always come in and be like, you know, like, have you already spoke about this or whatever? So I give people a bit of a chance. All good my end. Alright, cheers, Brendan. Sorry, I just heard my Discord notification. So let's get things started in terms of the chat. So anything I want to ask you guys. Politically, what's the most ridiculous shit you've seen lately? Like, could be other YouTubers, could be just stuff in politics in general. Me and Hikmet were talking about on Instagram some guy who thought the Nazi-Soviet pact meant the Soviets are actually quite close to becoming part of the Axis faction in the war, which I think is pretty dumb. Mainly because even if you think that's realistic, the way the Nazis viewed the Soviets was like extremely racist, obviously, because of what they thought of communism being a like Jewish conspiracy and stuff, and thinking Slavs were generally like subhuman. Adam something is his name, yeah. So I thought that was a bit of a bad take. Because you might as well... The thing is, what people don't understand, first of all, is the history between Poland and Russia before the war, for one thing. Like, Poland was like a fascist state, essentially. It wasn't like some massive, great democracy that everyone fucking loved. Obviously, Russia had massive problems with it, and the whole region. So, from their point of view, it probably made sense anyway. But, like, are we going to say Munich is, like, Britain nearly becoming part of the Axis? They literally sold out Czechoslovakia, which is a democracy that they created, Britain did, after World War One. The government in exile and these Czech and Slovak politicians, they stayed in Britain in both world wars, and they abandoned them and sold them out to the Nazis. The gun manufacturer who subpoenaed the school records of kids killed in Sandy Hook was pretty wild. I think I saw something about that. What's the exact story there? And yeah, World War II stuff. I think a lot of the time, like I was saying to Hitman, people who live in like ex-Soviet style communist countries often like think a lot of these things about the Soviet Union. What was I gonna think? What was I think? Well, here's something I don't know if you guys get. Do you love following like genuinely delusional people? And this is a really weird one because I just saw one of their tweets. I follow someone who like does YouTube, not politics YouTube, but they're very delusional about how good they are at it, and their subscribers is like a couple thousand, but their views are really bad. And in some weird way, I really revel in the delusion. I don't know why. I do this. I go on the YouTubers subreddit as well because I like the delusion. I don't know why. Is this a thing that's common? I love people being extremely delusional about how good their stuff is when it's clearly not good or popular. Like not even like humble, like I know my content is good and needs to get to a bigger audience, just being like really arrogant about their content or anything, and it's objectively pretty bad, and not popular. It's not like someone making quality stuff that people aren't seeing, for example. Jack, you're in Australia, aren't you? Yeah, Australia. My country's politics have gone to shit because the Conservatives and Murdochs own the whole political narrative of the media. I'm starting to think the left will never win federal office again. When's the last time any left-wing party were in government in Australia? It feels like ages. Adam usually has good, if not milk toast takes, but that was just ill-informed. Yeah, it seems so. I don't really know who they are. Hikmet was telling me about it. Some people are just making their stuff the way they want and don't care if people like it or not, just the thought. Yeah, I'm not talking about those people. I'm mainly talking about people. It's just I can't describe what it is. It's like people who are delusionally arrogant for no reason. I guess I enjoy that, and I enjoy following it. I don't know if there's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It'd be hilarious if Adam something hopped on stream and tried to defend that take. I mean, yeah, like he said he was from Hungary. Hungary was fascist before World War II, and then it's like fascist after the fall of the Soviet Union and stuff. So it's not like really surprising. Liberals can make good videos, so that's why sometimes it's not surprising when they have like a really awful take. What was I going to say? Did anyone see that stuff with Macbeth and Denzel Washington being cast as Macbeth? I already know. Okay, let's have some fun. Has the Quartering or Geeks and Gamers made a video about the race swapping in the new Macbeth made by the Coen brothers? Let's have a look. Basically, yeah, it's Denzel Washington's playing Macbeth and Frances McDormand is playing Lady Macbeth, which is obviously, I'm sure everyone knows, Shakespeare play. So what's the Quartering done there today? Gabby Petito, Activision. Yeah, I can't see it. Also, why do these anti-SJW channels use the like feminist people in their thumbnails still today? I really don't understand it. It's still the same ones, like from 2014 or some shit. Oh, basically Adam something, just I don't know who they are really. Hikmet sent me a screenshot. They were basically saying the Soviet Union was nearly in the Axis because of the Nazi-Soviet pact, basically. And which I was just disagreeing with because of the way the Nazis actually viewed the Soviets. They would never accept them on their side. The only thing, the deal was just like on both sides, sort of like this truce that they always knew wasn't going to last, basically, just to like focus on stuff elsewhere. Because I was saying like, Hitler and most Nazis thought communism was part of a Jewish plot to take over the world, and most communists would, part of this conspiracy theory, and also Slavs were subhuman and stuff. So there's no way the Nazis would actually ally with the Soviet Union. Yeah, obviously Nazis treated the communists brutally, put prisoners of war and shit like that. So yeah, and it's like me saying Munich was basically Britain being on the path to be an Axis power. Although I actually think you can make a better argument about Britain being potentially part of the Axis. Not saying they ever would be, but Britain was a lot more friendly with the fascists in the 1930s, like Mussolini and Hitler and stuff. Whereas, and also there's a weird, obviously, racial solidarity a lot of the time. Like Hitler viewed British people as fellow Anglo-Saxons and stuff. So that's an element that the Soviets never had with the Nazis. They weren't viewed as like brothers in race and stuff. Ken Klippenstein's good. Makes me laugh. Yeah, Henry Ford. Yeah, the start. I'll probably return to it at Christmas, but the war on Christmas, of course, is like probably what you can tell. It's pretty like a fascist thing that was started ages ago. Favorite comic book or graphic novel? I literally have never read a graphic novel, I don't think. And I own some old Daredevil comics, but I've never read them. They're like sealed. I think I got to give them as a present or something. So yeah, I've never really read a comic. I read a couple Darth Vader comics when Marvel started doing them again. But the thing is, comics are just not worth the money in my opinion, especially digitally. They're way too short for the price you pay. I'm arguing with someone on the Red Dead subreddit about the Confederacy, because in the game there's two veterans that you can interact with, and one's like a fake Union veteran, and one is a real Confederate veteran. And someone said to me, I said he's a Confederate veteran, so I don't care. And someone says, still a veteran though, no matter what side they fought for, they shouldn't be treated like shit. And I said, I'd treat an SS veteran like shit, or a Greek or Serb veteran who massacred Muslims. Veterans don't deserve any elevated status unless they actually fought in a war that was justified. So in my opinion, that's probably just World War II, or maybe the Union in the Civil War. And someone said, that's a way different comparison, bucko. And then thankfully someone came to my defense. Really, the guy willingly served the insurrection, talking about the Confederate soldier dedicated to keeping an entire race enslaved because of the colour of their skin. Is that different to one that willingly served in a genocidal regime? Get over yourself. Every last Confederate soldier was as much as a scumbag as the soldiers of the Third Reich. The clean Confederate is as much a myth as the clean Wehrmacht. Yeah, thank you, the guy who came to my defence. I'm going to gift them a little award for that. How much is... I got some Reddit points. Not that I ever buy them. Wait, where's Reddit Silver? I swear that's the cheapest one. It's only like 100. There we go. Silver. I would like Sandman. People have said that before, actually. Hey, Raxum, how's it going? Do I hate Konami for what they did to Kojima? Remember they destroyed Metal Gear Solid and cancelled Silent Hill. Yeah, Konami's been shit, because I play Pro Evolution a lot, and they've made that like free-to-play trash as well, so that's frustrating. And obviously, like, Metal Gear 5 is clearly unfinished. Literally, you can watch the cutscenes from the end of the game, which was meant to be included with Liquid Snake and Psycho Mantis and stuff. So it's pretty crazy that like they didn't let him finish it. But I'm happy he's independent more now and like can do what he wants. Like Death Stranding. Imagine the microtransactions of Death Stranding if it was made by Konami. And I literally don't think there's any microtransactions in that game or anything shitty. Oh, it's making my eyes water. This probably didn't help. I added vodka to it just to try and make it a bit nicer. So I thought like I didn't understand. There's like different extents of ginger beer. So I have fiery ginger beer, which actually is fiery. I thought it was just like normal, like a bit spicy. Pay to save. That's Konami. Yeah. Activision is clearly like a shitty company to work for sure. Just like literally they're being investigated by the government. How bad do you have to be for the US government to actually investigate you? Death Stranding is the only game where I was annoyed the gameplay got in the way of my cutscenes. That's interesting. I think the gameplay in Death Stranding is really good actually. Feels like a bit of an extension of Metal Gear 5, but obviously a bit less focused on violence. Yeah, TY playing Metal Gear and stuff. The only console that has all the games on it is the PS3. I don't know where you'd really start. Like I've never played Metal Gear 1. I've watched all the cutscenes, but I've never played it. You can get Metal Gear 2 and 3 on PS3 and 5 and 4. And Peace Walker as well. It depends. If you just want a good gameplay experience, play 5. But you're just not gonna understand what the fuck's happening. Is the main problem. Yeah, don't buy Metal Gear Survive. Like, don't make the mistake Raxim did. He's admitting there. So I'm just... I hate Zionists so much. I mean, like, some liberal Zionists are tolerable, but obviously the whole, like, Natalie Portman, for example, who can at least admit the government is racist. But yeah, like, by and large, I don't obviously agree with that, you know, settler colonial ideology and everything. People, TY, I've always been interested in Twin Snakes, but people fucking hate it. But that's one I always wanted to play. MGS3 is the earliest. They were planning on making an earlier one set in World War II with the boss, so that would have been cool. Alright, there's a couple of you in here now, so maybe let's talk about what I've titled the stream. But let me just get the chat. Alright, I forgot I can pop out the chat, which is very helpful. Let's get rid of this. Alright. Just make sure you guys can see. Alright, so the title says, which you can't see, Democrats to nix $1 billion for Israel's Iron Dome from the bill to avert government shutdown. So let's go down a bit. House Democrats will remove a provision originally included in a bill that would have helped boosted Israel's Iron Dome air defense system in order to keep the federal government funded through December 3rd. Democrats... Oh, sorry. Oh, fuck. That's not chocolate orange. Right. There we go. Democratic leaders are removing the provision from the bill, which was unveiled Tuesday morning after some progressives objected, according to a source familiar with the last-minute snag. Democrats are still planning to bring legislation to the House floor later Tuesday. Congress must act within a matter of days to avoid a government shutdown when current funding expires at the end of this month. Like, government shutdowns, is this just like an American thing? It's so fucking bizarre, and it seems to happen like semi-regularly. A spokesperson for the House Appropriations Committee chairwoman, Rosa DeLauro, said that the funding for the Iron Dome will be included in the final bipartisan and bicameral defense funding bill later this year. Representative Josh Gottheimer, a leading centrist, expressed frustration that the Iron Dome funding was being removed, but stopped short of threatening to vote against it, saying the Iron Dome protects innocent civilians in Israel from terrorist attacks, and some of my colleagues have now been blocking funding. We must stand by our historic ally, the only democracy in the Middle East. Shit like this always makes me laugh, right? Because in Egypt, America backed Mubarak for decades. Not very democratic, and obviously Saudi Arabia. So why are you showing us, you support the only democracy in the Middle East when you literally prop up all the authoritarian regimes in the Middle East as well? Could it be you don't really give a shit if a regime is democratic or not, as long as it serves your own interests? So if we switch over to Twitter, of course, all the fucking Republicans are freaking out about this. And like, what's amazing to me, I obviously know the answer. It's amazing to me that the American right, broadly, and a lot of people in the American left, in terms of like the centre left of the Democrats, why is funding Israeli national security some sort of patriotic act in America? It's fucking bizarre, especially when a lot of these people are basically fucking Nazis anyway. So Tom Cotton, complete dirtbag. Democrats just blocked my bill to designate the Taliban a foreign terrorist organisation after House Democrats sided with Hamas to block the replenishment of Israel's Iron Dome. Because, but that's even like the racist thing, are all Palestinians Hamas? Even in but the Palestinian territories, Hamas don't control it all. They only control Gaza. So, basically for them, it's like, because Hamas are attacking Israel, and the Iron Dome stops them, it's basically all Palestinians are Hamas. Mike Pence, this is a disgrace. House Democrats voted to cut $1 billion in funding for Israel's Iron Dome, the missile defense that saved thousands of lives as Hamas rained rockets on innocent Israelis this year. Restore Iron Dome funding now. America stands with Israel. And you can understand why someone like this fucking does it, because, white evangelical, appealing to white evangelicals who, for religious reasons fucking love Israel existing, but only as something to trigger Armageddon and bring in their biblical apocalypse. Who the fuck is this? So someone justifying Iron Dome, saying, opposing Iron Dome is profound. If Hamas launches rockets at Israel and Israel can't intercept them in the air, it will, at the source. The thing is, right, funding, I'm not sure in the specifics of the bill, but if the US don't fund Iron Dome, why can't Israel just do it? Like, the technology's there now. Do they need the US money? Well, Israel, one of the most wealthy countries in the region, needs US money, needs an extra $1 billion for Iron Dome. If it's so important to them, fund it themselves. But then, like someone saying, here's another tweet. Israel's GDP is $400 billion. The fact that Israelis get guaranteed healthcare while Americans who don't pony up $4 billion a year to give Israel free weapons is a massive racket. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's such a bizarre world we live in. I don't know how many of you guys watched my video on Riverdale and Nicaragua. Nicaragua literally has sanctions on it for making an arms deal with Russia. And the US literally slaps any country who does arms deals with Russia, it slaps sanctions on them, right? So, obviously Russia is like I don't support the Russian government, but you're allowed to, do weapons deals with your friend, the democracy, Israel, but also Saudi Arabia. These massive weapons deals. That's all perfectly okay. But other countries can't buy weapons off Russia. So it's just like absolutely fucking mad. Just reading all this stuff. And even this little fucker. Let's see if he's getting ratioed. Alright, I guess Eric Swallboy is saying he wants to keep the funding. I don't know. But it's just like a bizarre world. Obviously, like, we've had this shit in the UK with the Labour Party as well. But it's just like a crazy world where, like, you got basically a patriotic political position of in the United States is to be giving billions and billions to another heavily militarized country to keep up oppression of another group of people. But advocating for universal healthcare makes you like a commie pinko traitor. And the thing is, here's what I think people get wrong about this whole discourse, right? If you're seeing people who are, tweeting this stuff, yeah, you have some Jewish people, right-wing Jewish people in the US. But mainly what it is it's white Christian evangelicals. And like I said, the reason Israel has such a hold on US politics, people often say it's because AIPAC and because of Israeli lobbies. And I actually believe that has more of an influence on the Democrats. What actually has the influence on the Republicans is white evangelical lobbies and their obviously religious desire for Israel to stay existing so they can start war with Iran to trigger Armageddon. I'm not even joking. That is literally what white evangelicals want to happen in the Middle East. So I believe, and obviously we know how much the white evangelical lobby dictates American right-wing politics. So at the same time, obviously the Israeli lobby has some sort of influence, but I believe it is a bit of a massive push by white evangelicals broadly. All right, let's take some comments. Where's my little chat box gone? Oh. All right, let's get the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Top chat. No, I want live chat. It has pepper in it. I don't think... Does it? Does ginger beer have pepper in it? Hi, Casey. Thanks for joining. Happy that progressives were able to leverage some power, yeah, for once in their lives. Cowboy saying, when you realise Ilhan Omar, a woman, has more balls than Lindsey Graham, a US soldier. Was Lindsey Graham in the army? I didn't know that. Time for our yearly government temper tantrum. Yeah, exactly. It's so fucking bizarre. Like... It shut down last year, didn't it? And doesn't if it shuts down, does it mean like a load of services shut down as well? Cal was saying, if you stand up against Israel, you're called anti-Semitic and anti-American, like the ADI called Bernie, who is Jewish. Yeah, exactly. Anti-Semitic for his criticisms of Israel. And exactly, that's the thing that's been happening in the UK, obviously, way more. Because left-wing people start calling everyone who doesn't agree with Zionism anti-Semitic as well. Even Keir Starmer, the fucking awful Labour leader, has been doing shit like this as well, like throughout the last couple of months. So yeah, it's very, very frustrating, and it just feels like it like when the problem with being like woke and stuff is like you see all this shit and you just know how apparent it is, but people are so brainwashed to just support anything. The Israelis do, especially American patriots. It's so fucking bizarre and disgusting. I hate evangelicals so much. You could ask an evangelical if you had to choose one country to sink, Israel, the US. They would say the US. Yeah, I think they maybe would, because they also love Israel because it's like for them a secure place to do their Christian tourism as well. It's because evangelicals need Israel to exist. They're the most powerful Christian bloc and promote USA equals Christian nation. Yeah. Israel hawks often also permit Saudi Arabia to be funded. Yeah, well, there's a weird alliance. Like I was reading some like Saudi state propaganda and it was promoting Israel, which is obviously like so bizarre, considering so many of the population wouldn't be supportive of Israel and stuff. Caleb saying, hey Cav, can't tune in tonight like I want to. I'm suffering from Bell's palsy. Is that like cerebral palsy? What's it called? Cerebral palsy. What do they call it? Cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I'm guessing... Was Bell's palsy something different? Sorry. Oh, it is something different. Oh, that sucks. I've had shit like that before from neurological problems. I hope you feel better. And thanks for nice words as well, Caleb. Caleb saying, I was raised by reactionary evangelicals. They're still that way. It's fucking awful. They didn't let me have medical treatment because Asperger's and ADHD don't exist. Yeah, that's so fucking bad. Check out the sub Herman Cain Award to see where this religious stuff leads and what it leads to. You can see it in real time happening. But yeah, that sucks, Caleb. Yeah, nice that the squad is actually leveraging power first time for everything. Yeah, the only thing is now is that they're saying they're going to put it in the defense bill instead. Which fucking sucks. Yeah, they ruined Corbyn's chance of winning by calling him anti-Semitic. That's one of many things they did. But yeah, that was a big factor for sure. Just smearing him with that shit. Evangelicals' obsession with Armageddon is another reason why they aren't very concerned with climate change. Yeah, exactly. If the world's going to end anyway, who gives a shit? The instability is probably better for them, to be honest. Yeah, Caleb, I just read about it. It sounds like something I've had, but like on and off, not like you've had. But yeah, that fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's weird. The majority of the Gulf nations support Israel. Yeah, they do now, but it's because of like the US, power in the region just making a lot of them fall in line, and of course like capitalism as well. Israel's a market for a lot of them now, and they're just basically sold out. But yeah, it is crazy to see. Like obviously Egypt was the first big one to normalize relations, but now like all of them doing it. Yeah, the thing is, Cowboy, with Al Jazeera and Russia Today, because they're like anti-Western, they often platform a lot of like anti-establishment people from Western countries. So you are hearing voices that are dissenting against it. Of course, you're not going to get like a very balanced coverage of like Iran and North Korea from Russia Today, but I guess it serves its purpose if you watch it combined with other stuff. But yeah, the thing is, like, the fact that this is controversial, it's not even like they're completely stopping funding for Israel. It's literally just like one thing, the Iron Dome. And like that person said, 400 billion GDP. Just fucking spend your own money, raise your taxes to fund yourself. You're exploiting. You've created the situation with Hamas in the first place, so defend yourselves from them. But generally, just like America is just so bizarre. Like it's not even just supporting Israel. It's like you've got to give them billions of dollars, taxpayer dollars every year, while you just get fucked over by the government all the time. Which is just like how it goes in America. Your taxes get spent. Your taxes not only get spent bloating this absolutely insanely huge military unnecessarily. Your taxes also get spent on funding oppression worldwide by giving Israel a fuck ton of money and technology. Shit, there was something I wanted to ask people in the chat. Oh yeah. Here's something. So on Friday, I'm making a video about Hunter Avalon. And basically I want to talk about, like my Amazing Atheist video, I want to talk about like the transition from like Amazing Atheist wasn't a right winger, more like reactionary, where Hunter Avalon was that hardcore big Trump supporter and shit like that. Apparently someone said, he said somewhere that at one point he knew he didn't believe in that stuff anymore, but he kept making videos on it. And I was watching a Vosh video and a Hunter Avalon video where Hunter Avalon says he had a debate with Vosh like 2 years ago, and then it forced him to reassess a lot of his positions. So then in the video where Vosh is responding to it, this 2 years ago, he's talking about how great a guy Hunter Avalon is, right? So then I went back onto the channel about the time he had this conversation with Vosh, and he's still being like a bit of a shithead, like right-wing reactionary. So he either didn't change really that much, or in that period, or he was doing it for the money. But I'm just wondering, what interview did he say that he was just still making reactionary content for the money? Because some of his stuff, like, it's like a lot of people, I get comments telling me people, I tweeted about this today, telling me people are like good now, and then they turn out to be like really shitty still, just like not as bad. I'd actually tweeted about this today. One sec. So I said, honestly, big leftist creators have rehabbed so many former right-wing anti-SJWs who have supposedly changed. My audience then say X is good now. I go into their channel and watch their stuff, and it is not good. Because that's my experience. Like Amazing Atheist, I go to his channel, and then I just see shit about racism that I really, really disagree with. And I go on this guy's channel, and I see stuff just generally with politics I disagree with. And what my problem is, like, I know people say you shouldn't be gatekeepy, right? But I go on this guy's the start of COVID, right? For a lot of us, doesn't feel that long ago. Like, have you guys? Let me know in the chat. Have you guys significantly changed your politics since March 2020? And if so, how old are you? But yeah, he has videos like in 2020 which are like right wing and stuff. Even after the beginning of the pandemic, and I was thinking like you know, he's a year. I think he's either a year younger than me or a couple months younger than me. And then I was thinking, like, how much do you really change? And the problem is, especially if you're like a former, like, big right wing creator and you come into left wing spaces, you already have that, like, I guess, clout in some ways. And then if you have people like, and here's the thing, I don't, like I was saying last week, I don't hate Vosh, but Vosh's audience are so fucking stupid, some of them. And this is where I see the sentiment a lot. Like, they got really mad that I criticised the Amazing Atheists. I'm like, why the fuck are you getting mad about that? Like, aren't you guys supposedly like left wingers? I'm criticising him for not for downplaying racism. Surely you should agree with me. But anyway, it's like he goes on Vosh and he like debates other prominent people, and it's like, this is a guy we should fucking listen to now. Like, literally was this massive reactionary like not even 2 years ago. But yeah, it's interesting. Okay, people saying they've all. Okay, let's see what people say. Honest saying, I watched Hunter's transition. It really took hold, though, when the far right turned against him. Remind me of Tommy Robinson. Yeah, the difference with Tommy Robinson is that he was always bullshitting, and then he got found out for just being a fucking liar anyway. I've been working for all of your late night streams that I've watched. Victims of Capitalism Memorial Foundation. We should fucking start that. TY, what are you doing? What's your job? What's the night shift? How would you solve the Israel-Palestine problem? Do you think the Jews should not have a state? Well, I think your framing of it is weird, right? And this is I don't think it's necessarily your fault. So talking about Israel, the position seems to be, right, if you're anti-Zionist, it literally means you want Israel and everyone in it to be killed and all that shit, right? Because here's the thing. Ideally, in my opinion, Israel wouldn't have been created as a state because, like, you know, it's a settler colonial nation based on this religious and often like very racist ideology. Obviously, I'm not dumb. I know there's different forms of it, but in my opinion, I disagree with all forms of it. So, but then and the thing is, I accept it exists. That's the difference. Like, I accept the Israeli state is probably going to exist for the rest of my life and probably the rest of like this period of modern history. I accept that. So that's why the frame is like, do you not think the Jews should have a state? Well, that doesn't really matter. If I thought no, it doesn't really matter because I accept it's not gonna change anytime soon. So what people often say is like, if you disagree with like the Zionist argument for an Israeli state, it means you literally want all these people to be killed and just have the Palestinians and just Arabs take over and stuff. So for my mind, if I was thinking about this, like, there's the perfect world where, for me, in a perfect world, you'd have one secular Palestinian state, And because the identity of Palestinian has now just been associated with Muslim Palestinians and Christians rather than Jewish Palestinians, because there are Palestinian Jews who are often discriminated against themselves by the Israeli state, you'd have one big secular Palestinian state, and then you'd have a democracy or something like that. If I was being, that's probably like a fantasy. So probably the ideal thing is just go back to, maybe it's like being realistic. Go back to 1948 borders. Go back to 1967 pre-1967 borders. Obviously lift this occupation, make Palestine a free nation, and the Palestinian territories govern themselves. Hopefully in like one democracy, but then it's just hard because like Hamas exists for a reason. It's because you've brutalized this territory for so long. It has like helped this extremism thrive and stuff. But yeah, like in my mind, I would, with Israel specifically, in terms of it existing and the Jews not having a state, it's like the best example. I actually thought of this and I read Malcolm X saying it. He said, I'll give you guys some context. You guys probably are aware that Muslims and Muslim kingdoms and caliphates, they used to own most of Spain. They started conquering it in 711. The last kingdom wasn't defeated until 1492. Of course, even when the Christians controlled the whole of Spain, many Muslims still lived there. And even though they tried to force convert a lot of them still remain Muslims. But then in 1609, Philip III, he kicked out all the Muslims, known as Moriscos, and he sent them to North Africa and was just like, there you go away. So if these Muslim communities, they stayed quite intact. And then today, or maybe in 1948, they go, Grenada. Well, historically, I used to live there. My family lived there for over 700 years. I'm going to go there. I'm going to kick the people who live there out, and I'm going to create this new caliphate. I'm going to create this new Morisco caliphate because historically, I have ties to that land. The mosque there is the mosque my family used to worship at, and like this territory is like what my relatives used to own in the 1500s and stuff. People would say that isn't like a legit argument, right? So with Israel, it's like for these people, it's like, well, yeah, with the evictions you're seeing now, it's like, well, my family used to live there, or like we have claim to this land and you Palestinians don't and stuff. So if you think my example of people descended from the Moriscos coming back to southern Spain and saying, well, that's ours now because my family used to live here, then I don't know how you can't apply that to Israel as well. And like I said, I accept Israel exists. I accept it's not going anywhere. It's one of the most powerful countries in the entire region and probably the world, like up there in terms of its military capability. So why is it just this one group? And the thing is, like, I'm an anti-fascist, nearly above everything. So I'm well aware of the history of Jewish people and the persecution and the brutal persecution. Probably one of the most oppressed groups in European history, like no doubt. But then you can't use that as justification for taking over people's homes and inflicting brutality on them. Like, how long can you justify your people's history to do that stuff? Does Israel get a pass for doing it for the next 500 years, 1,000 years, 2,000 years because it's what's been done to them? That they can keep just saying, well, we need to secure our state because of what happened before and stuff. To me, it's not an excuse that holds up. Shoe on head, Hunter not amazing at all. Atheist, yep. They got slightly better as human beings under Trump. Slightly, I mean, tiny bit better. He's now a lib, yeah. He seems like he's a lib. So people saying, pandemic turned me into radical anarchist. That's cool. Cowboy became a Bernie bro in March. What were you before? Stephanie saying I became more radical left and I'm 31. I think it did radicalise me a bit more, but I was already pretty radicalised anyway. Went from lib to socialist since March 2020. That's cool. How old are you, Ryan? Kamaru Boomerang saying 46 here. My politics were already starting to go more and more to the left when Trump was elected into office. I used to consider myself middle of the road. That's interesting. Seems like a lot of you guys used to feel that way. Shifting left isn't much of a grift, but I can see somebody being slow to let go of the grift when their beliefs shift. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of these people do. Spitting Game saying the problem with these reactionaries and YouTubers is that we will talk about black people and what goes into the black community without knowing the facts and without knowing any black people. Yeah, that feels like Vosh with like black nationalism and stuff. As a Vosh fan, Vosh fans are really fucking stupid sometimes. Ton is saying, I was centre-left person or a liberal, then just cooped up in my house watching John Oliver. Now I'm 17 and moved further left. That's cool. When you're young, your politics change quite quick. Soyborn saying, check out Dusty Smith, Cav. In my opinion, he's truly changed for the better. Used to be a bit of a sexist and overly extreme. Now he's far more chill and far more progressive. Soyborn, am I going to be disappointed? Am I going to go on Dusty Smith's channel and immediately think, why the fuck did this person recommend me him? Let's bring back the Ottomans. That's how you own both sides. Yeah, that could be another example as well. Hi, Little Fox. Thanks for joining. I think I bread pilled a conservative Democrat of postmodernism and progressivism, which affected his opinion of Zionism. How did you do that? What were you talking about? Wasn't it Rome who exiled the Jews out of Judea? Yeah, after the conquest of Jerusalem, most of them left. I think like 5% stayed or something. Are you aware Jews were first offered Uganda instead of Palestine to make a Jewish nation of? Yeah, the thing is, I don't think like this sort of argument has any weight no matter where it is. Obviously, it makes way more sense in like Israel itself because that's where these people, as like a race, were originally from. But yeah, Uganda's a weird one. Because you just need the same shit. Like displacing people for colonialism, I'm against anyway. It doesn't fucking matter if it's Jerusalem or if it's somewhere in Uganda. Katie saying I went further left, but I was already there. Yeah, I think that's most people. 24. Oh, okay. Do I live in the US? No, I live in the UK. England is my city. Trump and Erdogan push me further left. Yeah, that makes sense. Erdogan's been around for fucking ages, though. But he's a shithead. Don't fall for the left or the right act. They're in bed with each other anyway. I mean, if you mean like on a political spectrum, then I disagree. If you mean like in US politics, then they do line up on a lot of things. I used to be an Italian fascist in a liberal family, then I became a communist. That's quite a fucking transition there, Mando. I'm a teen and I went from being a libertarian and tons of other stuff before. Alright. To be honest, like if it feels like teenagers are into politics more. Like I didn't even know what the fuck I was. Like, I loved history and politics, but I didn't know what I really was. I guess just like fairly liberal, but I didn't really even think about what I was, to be honest. Hey people, drop the man a few likes, you lazy asses. Yeah, like the video if you want. Doesn't really matter, because I don't keep the stream up. I just rage quitted a Dylan Burns debate with Big Papa Fascist. Dylan needs to stop debating trans rights. He's absolutely shit. I really can't stand him, to be honest. He just comes across like, this is nothing critical about his content, I don't watch it, but he just comes across really fucking arrogant, and I just really hate that. Also, Twitch debate communities really make me cringe, and they're also so fucking nerdy as well. And I'm not talking about like, I love nerd stuff and people would consider me like a nerd and stuff, but like Twitch, I've been on one Twitch debate panel in my life when I was a lot smaller, and like, I was just thinking like, it's just not for me. It's just these people are so fucking serious about politics, and it's not, okay, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not serious. It's self-important, right? Like like this debate really, really matters. Like and I made a video about how debates can work as like part of like a longer process of pushing people left and stuff. But it's like this one debate is like the most important thing ever, and it's like, to me, no, it's fucking not. There's like 9 of you on this Twitch stream. And why is there so many people as well? I've been on one which was 7 of us. I was like, this is way too fucking many people. I barely even get to speak. And then it's just weird because you have like people taking themselves very seriously, and then other people like eating their dinner while debating on Twitch and shit. But anyway, yeah, I just generally I muted him on Twitter, even though I don't even follow him, just because I hated him coming off my timeline. It's just one of those people I have an irrational dislike from. Like he's never acknowledged me. I've never acknowledged him. We've never ever spoken our lives. I've never watched his stuff. Really. He's done nothing wrong to me. Like literally, I don't have anything personally against him. I just can't fucking stand him. Does anyone else have people like that? Like just you watch them, you're just like, I can't stand you. I'm sorry. Like you make me cringe with how arrogant you are, and how like you're trying to be like this nice guy who loves everyone. Also, like, I don't know, Twitch debate culture, I just really do not fucking understand it. I also that Twitch is like, you think YouTubers and Twitch streamers would be fairly similar, but the ecosystem is so different. I like YouTube because you can just stay separate. Like, and I was talking to someone about this. Like, I've built my whole YouTube channel pretty much just through myself. Like, if you guys notice, I rarely collaborate with people who are like big YouTubers or big leftists, or even leftists who are similar size to me. The only person I've actually collaborated with who's a similar size as me is Cyrus. I've been on the Humanist Report once for a panel, and once for an interview about the British election when I was really small. I went on the Surf's Twitch stream once, like 2.5 years ago, when they were a lot smaller. And that's pretty much it, where a lot of people just like collab. And also, here's a problem I have, like, you guys probably noticed this, and I noticed this as someone who has like a fairly decent following on YouTube. There is absolutely a massive clique of left-wing YouTubers, and honestly, a lot of it is for clout. I'm not joking. A lot of these people, and the thing is, I've said stuff about Dylan Burns, but I don't want to get into drama, so I'm not even going to name these people. But there's loads of people who I'm telling you for real, literally do not give a shit about advancing left-wing politics, and these are the people who say they do. They literally just care about becoming like micro celebrities. And I'm honest with you guys. I say like my channel's not for spreading socialism or spreading any of this stuff. That's a good side to it. For me, I treat it like a job. It is a job. I do love doing it. I love interacting with like community stuff, and I like being creative and making videos. But someone's like often said to me like, we should use your Discord to like spread socialism and shit like that. I'm just like, that's really not what I'm about. In terms of like, lots of people message me saying my videos have helped them change their political views, especially people who might have been more right wing, which is great and everything. But that's not exactly my goal for this. Where a lot of people who are left-wing YouTubers will say, yeah, my goal is to achieve a better society and spread socialism, and we can achieve this together, or some shit like that. But a lot of these people are just massive clout chasers, and you can tell that often by the people they platform on their own channels. The Lauren Southern thing, for example, people platforming her, it's about clout chasing. Like, you don't need to talk to someone like that, and you've literally just made her relevant. What's the fucking point? So, yeah, and I don't need to tell you guys who I'm talking about. You could just, there's probably like a lot of people you can think of. I don't. The thing is, when I talk about these things on Twitter, I don't like calling out people specifically because I don't want to be like a little drama horse. So I'll vague post about it. Just be like in this tweet I got up on the screen, I'm like, honestly, big leftist creators, you know, you guys can take that how you want who I'm talking about, but there's no point me being like, big leftist creators like at this guy and at this guy. So I just don't want to start a massive drama because I'm really not interested in the clout side. In terms of like, I obviously want to grow my audience, but I just don't want to be someone who gets known for being in like debates and drama. That's why I always say, like, I'm going to say in my Hunter Avalon video, because people often say like, you know, why don't you talk to the Amazing Atheist or David Packman about your differences? I'm like, I'm really not interested in doing that. Like with my Hunter Avalon video I'm making for Friday, I'm going to say it's not, I'm making that video, he can watch it. If he wants to respond, he can respond to it. I'm not going to debate him about it. What do I fucking want to debate him about it? I'm making a video about like something I find interesting as like an evolution and just like trying to criticize this guy's content, doesn't mean I want to talk to them. And the way I view YouTube is kind of maybe different from how people might view YouTube. To me, just like, you know, just general like articles and stuff, I feel like it's often a part of history. It's like a window into like a different time. So as like someone who is more like history focused, I'm assessing this content as like sort of even like a history thing. I'm calling the series like internet history. So I'm trying to take like a more objective look at it through the lens of like maybe like more historical focus and stuff. So it's not really, to me, I'm not personally wanting to engage with these people. I'm not making this specifically to try and get a reaction out of them. And for myself, I ignore all the videos people make on me. Like I never respond to them. I don't watch them. I don't comment on them. People, you know, and fair enough. Like the Amazing Atheist, he made a live stream where he watched my videos and he criticised it, and that is like totally fine. But then I'm not going to have a debate with him about it. And you know, and to me that's just, it's over. I've made the video, I put it out. He's responded to it because he wanted to, and that's everything. But some people just love to be drama whores and like long it out. I don't want to start like some big thing like the Amazing Atheist versus Kavernacle. Oh, they're gonna air out their disagreements on Twitch with like some little jerk moderator who's full of himself and stuff. You know, I'm just really not interested like that. The only conditions are I'm up for like more friendly conversations one-on-one, and I'll go on some panel shows like where it's like a friendly vibe. Like with Humanists had a good series like Dystopian Times, and I obviously went on that. But it was like chilled out. It wasn't like we were debating. We're just all talking about it, which I prefer. So that's my point with a lot of this stuff, really, is like a lot of left-wing people are definitely in it for the clout. And maybe that's what you've got to understand when you think, why are they doing debates with various people when they're not good at it? Yeah, Fox, I haven't heard people calling Boris a secret communist. Yeah, the initial crime of displacing a population is what matters. Yeah, I agree with that, Red Leader. Why would you protest a defensive weapon? What, are you talking about Iron Dome? The debate sphere is fucking stupid. Yeah, it definitely is. Spacing people is evil. Yeah, I agree, Katie. Caring about things is beta. Yeah, exactly. You're a beta male if you care about anything. Samuel, I totally agree with this. This comment made me laugh. Whenever a Twitch debate says poggers or some shit, I instantly want to leave. How does Vosh convert people when he's that annoying? To be honest, it's just his audience is just younger for the most part. There was a good thread on the Vosh subreddit where it was older people talking about, and it was really funny because it's like interesting to see how they value him, but then it was obviously like really critical of why he's annoying and stuff. But yeah, poggers, like, there's just so much shit in Twitch. I just don't understand. It makes me cringe. Like, poggers, oh my god, shut the fuck up. Trans rights in the UK, please. Yeah, that would be fucking nice. But there was that fucking survey that said people broadly support it, but it's just the political class just making it into a culture war. Yes, many people irritate me. I wish I could never hear about debaters or online personalities ever again. Sirius is cool, the one who got me into leftism. That's good. Yeah, Sirius is cool. The high school clique bullshit is offensive. Yeah, and it's real. Like that, and why it's so hypocritical is because we're meant to be like left wing people who don't really. Well, at least I don't believe in hierarchies. People will tell you, like, I'll talk to anyone in like the DMs. In Discord messages. I'm up for going on like any YouTube channel. Like most of the people I've gone on are way smaller than me, because I don't really give a shit, to be honest. Like, if you want to collab with me, just fucking message me. It doesn't make a difference to me if you got 200 or 20,000. I'll go on both. To me, I just appreciate people want to talk to me. I know that maybe seems weird, but maybe I'm small enough to get to appreciate that, where I don't have loads of fucking weird people asking me, where everyone who reaches out is really nice and we have a good conversation. But Yeah, Brendan, I am going to talk about that because the good thing he's actually done compared to others is at least he's debunked his old videos, which is like quite cool. But at the same time, yeah, I'm going to talk about where like I still disagree with him, but that's what the video is about. So I'm not cancelling him or anything. Hikmet saying, you're better than debate bros. You actually analyse the matter at hand and really inform. Happy about that. Yeah, thanks, Hikmet. I appreciate you saying that. Hands of Stone, your thoughts on secular talk? I never really watched him, but he did help me get my channel remonetized, so that was nice of him. So I like him for that. Also, we have outgrown Kalinski. I never watched him, so I've always outgrown him. Little Fox saying, I really enjoy your consistency and ability to draw attention to stuff I didn't know before. Yeah, I appreciate that. I try and keep a bit more of a global focus, to be honest, compared to other people. Kyle is a weasel. Yeah, I don't know enough about him to call him a weasel or not. Margot saying, just want to say I enjoy your approach, Cav. Keep it up. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. The nice comments make it all worth it, really. At least because I try and be a bit different. Like, I was talking to someone about this the other night, actually. And they were like, it was one of the patrons, I think. And they said, I like you because you plan and put more effort in your videos than someone like Vosh and like other streamers who just do like stream clips. But at the same time, you're like casual and consistent enough that you're not like a breadtube video essayist who put in like loads of work into these like massive long videos. So I've always thought myself a bit like kind of in the middle of them two. So I'm glad people like do appreciate that. Anonymous saying, I hate lefty drama and clout chasing. I literally will not click on left versus left drama or Lauren Southern platforming. Yeah, it's dumb. Sorry, my chat went down. Raxium saying, as a brown dude, I was fucking weird when I was young. I used to be a centrist. Wait, you called yourself a centrist at age 11? I like myself a third way politics. Like, what the F was I thinking? Yeah, I think a lot of people have a centrist phase, to be honest. Now at 23, I would say I'm more of an ANCOM. I honestly don't even fucking know what I am, to be honest, but I don't really care too much. Transhumanism, can I have a definition of it? We get libs who call themselves left debating with libs who call themselves left. Yeah, we'll see how left they really are. To be honest, with people who are like former anti-SJWs, I have like a list of questions I want to ask them to really like see if they've really changed. Like, I'd love to ask Shoe and Head about like changing racial demographics in America, just to see what they say. Fox in chat. No, little Fox. Don't bring that. Don't bring that to the YouTube stream. Imagine that half of the former New Atheist intellectual dark web are now all some sort of newborn Catholic Christians, or at the very least, they seem to ally with Christian conservatives all the time, which is bizarre considering what like New Atheism kind of started as. But I hope you guys appreciate what I do for you. Like, watching hours of Hunter Avalon videos in my free time. Like, this is the time outside of the streams and video planning and video editing. I hope you guys appreciate that. All for a better video. Cav begging people to slide into his DMs. I mean, people... I, to be honest, the one thing I don't get... I get it a bit... mainly from gay men, actually, is I don't get many people sliding into the DMs in that kind of way. I used to a bit more, actually. I don't anymore. I think 'cause I closed my Twitter DMs, so I don't get it as much. And my Instagram is way smaller. Sorry, into more stuff. What do you think about people who call themselves ex-Muslims who grift anti-Muslim stuff to gain money? And do they remove the real threat to ex-Muslims who are harassed? Yeah, the only ex-Muslim I can think of who's actually bad in my experience is Majid Nawaz, because he just traded in like Islamic fundamentalism for like some sort of weird fucking right-wing fundamentalism, like Western chauvinism or something. I don't know. I was like, I just work here. um, Fox of Fate, have you finished Watch Dogs Legion? What did you think of the story? Yeah, Fox of Fate, I don't know what country you're from, but I appreciated the context a lot on Watch Dogs Legion. I spoke about this a lot on stream before, but the anti-fascism is cool. The radio podcast stuff about like anti-capitalism, anti-authoritarianism and shit like that. That's all really cool stuff. Like, it's one of the most political games I've played, especially the DLC talking about like the privatisation of the NHS. And it's actually like a lot of the shit that's happening. By the way, in the UK, we're getting fucked over by Brexit. You literally cannot. This is like a really trivial example. You literally cannot buy a milkshake from McDonald's right now, and you haven't been able to months because of supply chain issues because of Brexit. And now we're worried about running out of like carbon dioxide or something else that makes soda fizzy. We're running out of that. Supermarkets are there's a lot less on them. Like, first time I've ever seen that in my lifetime. Running out of gas as well. Petrol has gotten so much more expensive. So yeah, Brexit is a nice shot in the foot by the UK. But in Watch Dogs Legion actually talks a lot about this, because it says leaving this market is going to be bad, because Watch Dogs Legion is set in 2030. So it says this happens. So like access to medicine, food, and this all happened because of Brexit. It literally says that in the game. But of course, you don't get many right-wingers complaining about it, because first of all, right-wingers don't understand anything, but they also don't really play games, even though they call themselves gamers and stuff. So yeah, the game's very fun. It's a bit shitty. Like I wanted to replay it as the Assassin's Creed character, but the fact I have to buy the season pass pisses me off, because I actually bought one of the DLCs without the season pass, and now I literally have to double dip on the money. So I'm waiting till they release them as just an individual character. But yeah, I like it a lot. Mechanically, I prefer some of the older Watch Dogs games. 2 has better hacking, 1 has way better combat, but like, yeah, the thematic stuff of it is really cool, I think. Especially as a British person, like, you're probably not going to see much of this stuff again in a massive, like, high budget game set in, you know, the city I live in and stuff. Katie, I think Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, Jordan Peterson, it's not really drama criticising them. It's more about criticising people who like a similar size to you, I guess. Katie, I haven't listened to Lord's new album, but I do appreciate her outlining how what what drugs affected what album. The fuck is a pog? Yeah, okay, I don't really understand where it came from, but I've just heard people say it. Francisca said, I love the Bill Maher and Sam Harris vid you did. Made me realise Affleck was always the bomb. Yeah, to be honest, like, Affleck was being a bit of a dumb lib, but he had a massive point when it came to them two. So he has been vindicated a lot, especially the way Sam Harris has gone. Yeah, Shoe on Head is recently expressing anti-immigration sentiment. Yeah, I am going to make a video on Shoe on Head. To be honest, she follows me on Twitter, so I'm going to have to block her first, because I feel really bad when people unfollow me, and I just don't want the interaction really either. But yeah, Singularity, I've screenshotted all the stuff when she was like the social media director for some like crazy right-wing populist social media page. So I've got all that. It's just in my phone's photos. Ice cream machine broken, definitely. Yeah. Katie, I know what you're gonna do about soda and milkshakes. Yeah, well, I mean that's like a very like easy example to tell you guys, but it's really crap at the moment. Like, I just fill up my car with petrol, like the normal like amount, like £10, 15. I'm just like, that's barely any like translatable, I guess, value of the liters just isn't there anymore, and it's just really shit. And apparently winter is going to be really bad. So yeah, and it's just like, it just happened for no fucking reason. Like, I'm still pissed off about it, to be honest. I'm happy I'm not one of those fucking idiots who supported Brexit, to be honest, but it's still not fun seeing it. Just like, living here is just fucking maddening. What the fuck's happening? It's just like, our population is so brainwashed as well, just like the US. But what can you do, really? Gotta get my Irish passport. I need a new passport, so I'm gonna try and get an Irish one. But then as good as Ireland is for staying in the EU, Ireland is so fucking expensive as well. So there'd literally be no point moving there. Like, my girlfriend loves it there and stuff, but like, there'd be no point moving to Ireland unless you just want a cultural change, because the prices are just as bad. So yeah, I'm fucked, really. I'm moving to Spain for a bit at the start of next year. Hopefully, if everything goes well enough, for a couple months, maybe 6 months. Hoping to avoid one of my friends' weddings. Because I mean, he's one of my uni friends, but I just really don't want to fucking go to his wedding. So I'm just trying to get some music up. But I've been upset lately. I've probably told people this. I told people this before, ages ago. But yeah, I fucked my knee ligaments like 2 years ago now, and you guys can see an exercise bike behind me. So I bought that 2 weeks ago, and I've been doing it a lot, and my knee's been feeling really good. Right, I go play football yesterday. We play in a 5-a-side league. Ran around a lot more than I usually do. It was really hot and sweaty. Even though it's not that hot, I get home. I'm feeling good. Lie on my bed for 10 minutes, get up, and my knee is just like fucked. Basically, I'm just like, for fuck's sake, like I haven't seriously injured this again. And then I don't know if there's something wrong with me. Also, I've done something to my ligament in my arm as well. Doing mainly just bicep curls and stuff. So it's not a good time for me. The only good thing is my neurological problems have been way better lately. I don't know why. I think because YouTube's been going well, so I've been feeling happier. But yeah, it's been a shit time last couple of days, and it changes so quick. Like I was saying on Sunday to my girlfriend, I was like, I'm quite happy right now. Like, more happy than I have been in a long time. And the next day, my arm's fucking hurting again, and my knee is hurting, which I thought I'd made better. So it's not going well for me at the moment, physically. But then you guys probably, someone was telling me they had, what was that thing called, Bell palsy, and like once you have bad health, you literally you regret not keeping yourself in better health, and it's just like, it's just depressing, isn't it? Like, when I first started getting neurological problems, I was so depressed about it because it was so like different from what I'd had before. And it was and it just really affected me mentally as well. Like, it was just really fucking bad neurological problems, especially when I first got it this time 2 years ago. Like, it was really unbearable. Just made me so stressed all the time. Where the physical stuff that just came, nearly like 2 months later, that just stressed me out bad. Because I love running, and I haven't gone for a proper run. Like, I used to do 5K like all the time. I haven't done that in 2 years now. I try sometimes down the park, but I can only manage about 3, and I have to stop to make sure my leg isn't fucked. So yeah, appreciate if you are in good health, especially if you're younger. Because me and my mate were talking at football yesterday, because I used to be so fit and I'd run around like crazy and I'd be really good. And I said to him, why am I getting nostalgic for being 23 and 22? I'm only 20. I'm on the wrong side of 25. I'm only 26. But I'm like, now I'm feeling like an old man. Like, everything, I'm just injuring myself so frequently now, and I just feel like really like I've fucked up my body, and like with my neurological problems as well. It's like, it's just such a piss take. But yeah, some of you said you're younger, so if you're younger, both go get a physical checkup, like a physio, because I didn't know I had flat feet, and that contributed to me having knee ligament damage. I wish I'd known that. He said my quads and my core were a bit too weak, so that also contributed to it. So if I knew that, I would have strengthened them years ago. And now I've had all these problems because of it. So yeah, if you're young, work on all your important muscles that aren't just like for show. Raxon saying, I was politically aware when I was young. I used to get into arguments in school saying the British Empire was bad in primary and secondary. That's crazy. But good on you, I guess, because I wasn't definitely doing that. Smith Black, thanks so much for the donation. Shu is unironically that meme that right-wingers use of a woman will have the political views of the strongest male in her life. Like, the thing is, here's what like pisses me off about all these people. So do you remember when socialism done left? It was very ironic. And also his granddad did the Bay of Pigs. Do you remember when it came out, he had posted all that racist shit on his Discord, and then like, this is what pissed me off a bit about this like Twitch clique, or like just even like influencer clique, is like Vosh said, "Who am I to judge him based on what I've said?" And I was like, you can still say something is bad, right? If like Vosh has said some bad stuff. If someone is posting loads of racist and bigoted stuff on Discord, you can say that is really bad, and like I condemn that, and that is like awful. I know I've said some bad stuff myself, but if you think what you said was bad in the past, surely you could condemn that and not use it as an excuse to not criticize someone. It's the same stuff he uses with like Shoe on Head as well. It's like, well, I've said bad things. It doesn't fucking matter if you said bad things in the past. You can still criticize someone for saying bad things in the present. Anyway. It feels like it's like a big friends club. Like you don't want to cancel your friends or some shit like that. That's why I'm going to the UK sometimes, because I'll never have to meet these people in real life. Just done being exploited for my labour. How was work today? Blake. Also Katie as well. Are you done with work? Reddy is saying, you're from London, you've gotten games set in your home like crazy. I mean, we've got two good, we only got two good ones, and they're both Ubisoft. I guess like The Order, 1886, but that's like historical fiction or some shit. But yeah, I have the Pit from Fallout 3. Well, yeah, if you're Seattle, you're lucky as well. I got two games set in Seattle: Last of Us 2 and Infamous Second Son. Is that what it's called? Pod came from a guy in some video who was shot by something. The guy turned out to a major chud. Yeah, I remember that. I live in Australia. I saw the European Processing Centre thing as Brexit on steroids. Do you think Albion taking over is possible to happen? Yeah, obviously that was the thing about Brexit as well. And in the DLC, there's literally a guy campaigning for mayor using like really xenophobic stuff about European immigrants and stuff. Do I think Albion could take over? No, I don't think they could. I definitely think the police force could be more privatised though, because of all the police cuts. Brexit is when no milkshake. Pretty much, Blake. You've got a spot on. What do I think about Scottish separation, independence? Yeah, I support Scottish independence. Like, if you Scotland runs things better than the UK anyway, like in England anyway, and if you can get away from the Tories, I totally support that. It's really hot in my room, but it's making my feet cold when I open the window. But thanks so much for the donation, Smith. Spain, yeah, hopefully. Jesus saying, good video on the missing girl. Thanks, appreciate it. You saying that. Yeah, like the thing is of true crime stuff is like these people are trying to make a true crime story out of an ongoing case, and like I said in the video, good true crime, in my opinion, is making a broader point about society, not just being gross and trying to, entertain you with explicit details, basically. Watch out for Vox. Yeah, I'm probably not going to bump into them. Come to US, it'll be fun. Katie, my girlfriend's actually going to... Where's she going? Florida in December, and she asked and California. She asked if I wanted to come with her, and I said no. But I mainly said no because I really want to go to New York one day. But I don't want to go to LA too much, even though like it's quite idealized by tourists. I know it's pretty shit for tourists, but I want to go to New York one day. But we're saving for Spain and Vietnam because we want to go live both of those places next year. So I don't really want to spend like £500 on flights and then loads of money doing the tourist stuff around New York. If your knee is fucked, try hamstring curls. You seem to sit a lot too. Yeah, Proland, you'd probably be surprised at how little I actually sit down. The only time I sit down is when I'm editing a video and streaming. I actually just sit on my bed all the time. So that's the only good thing. But that's the thing is, I always think this. Like, I couldn't if I was still at my old job, I couldn't have fucking gone into work today. Oh shit! I can't listen to music because I'm streaming. But hope things get better for you. Thank you, Kamaru. Sounds like you're a ligament male if your ligaments have fallen apart. Are your injuries on the same side? No, it's my right arm and my left knee. What is a hamstring curl? I'm looking this up. Oh, fuck that. But it probably is good for me, to be honest. I'm just going to try cycling more and keep up with my my rehab little stretch things, I guess. Sorry, I'm reading some more. So I'm a bit behind. Sorry about that. Isn't Spain really expensive? No, it's not. Rent's cheaper. I'm not sure about the food though, but the rent is way cheaper. And it's obviously really nice weather, so hope you recover soon. Thanks, Hitman. You get used to getting older, injuries, and also second puberty in the 30s. What is a second puberty? Being confined to a meat sack is the worst. Sometimes I ironically wish I could place my brain into a machine body. Singularity, I literally have been thinking about getting like, not that I would do this, but like I've been thinking like I wish I had a robot left leg because my knee is just never getting better, and I just wish I had like a cool prosthetic or something. I have strained neuro weakness on one side, which wrecked my knee. Medicine keeps on getting worse, but I just cycle now. At least you can still cycle. Yeah, I don't think it was my neuro problems that gave me these conditions. I just think it's my other stupid body stuff. Soaking apple cider vinegar, that shit helps everything. Vampire was set in London. Yeah, I guess, but isn't that like way lower budget though? Devil May Cry, maybe. Okay, there's a level of Uncharted in London, but I mean, like, there's only 2 good open world games in it. No games are set in New York. There's loads of games set in New York. GTA 4 is obviously just New York. Spider-Man, all of them, but the new one's pretty good. What else is set in New York? Crysis 2 is in New York as well, obviously. I think there's a couple others. Some old like open world clones of GTA or something. Yeah, Dishonored was cool actually, the first one. I never finished it though, but I did like it. Stay away from Florida. Yeah, Katie talking about the Gabby Petito stuff. It's sad, and this girl was mentally ill and probably murdered by her fiance, and the media's just exploiting this shit because she's a pretty white girl. Yeah, it's also just like it's everything to do with like the YouTuber stuff, and just like I think it's like a Gen Z thing as well. Like they just love this TikTok shit. Yeah, I want to go to New York because I fucking love Mr. Robot, which is obviously like really set in like it's really set in New York, but like not very traditional New York. So like you get a very good look at just like the city that isn't shown to you in like Hollywood stuff. But yeah, like I just want to try American food as well. Like I need to see these portions, man. And And I need American Monster Energy. I need to try all these flavors, all these coffee flavors, all these iced tea flavors that we don't have here. I need it. Literally, I would be just glugging Monster Energy the whole time I'm in America if I ever go. It would be cool to go to a country that just like speaks straight up English as well. Like, obviously, I've been to countries that speak English, like Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, but they're not really, to me, other countries. Like, I haven't been to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or America, like proper English speaking countries. So that would be cool. If you don't have a car, Florida is going to be torturous. She's going with her friends, so she should be alright. Everyone's saying New York is really dirty. New Orleans got Mafia 3 and Red Dead. Yeah, basically. I've been to Iceland, tomfoolery, and I really want to go again. I loved it there. Yeah, Richard Malik was a Tory. Yeah, that's some good South Asian representation. It's like a parody of fucking Rishi Sunak or some shit. Yeah, I'm getting Far Cry 6 just because I was saying last week I finished New Dawn recently, and it's just a fun game like to grind. I've been playing AC Odyssey on PS5, and because it had a boost for PS5, it just looks so good. Like, it looked really shit on my PS4. Like, I really didn't think it looked that nice, but I've been playing it lately and it just looks so good on the PS5. I've also been playing Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is literally using the Odyssey engine. Like I was saying on Twitter, I'm such a fucking simp for Ubisoft games. But on AC Odyssey, I'm just wrapping up some stuff I forgot to finish when I used to play it. It's got some cool legacy quests that they added that I hadn't played, like the Trial of Socrates and like saying goodbye to like Herodotus and stuff. So yeah, it's a fun game. Like, I've put in a lot of time to it, 100 hours. Chop off that leg, have beautiful carbon fiber Terminator leg with AI control. That's what I want instead. As you saying, I appreciate you reading the comments, but I wish you have so much viewers that you can't keep up. I mean, it is kind of hard to keep up anyway. It depends what the topic is. I've had like 300 people on stream before. I don't really mind, to be honest. How will I deal with the language barrier in Spain? Smith, that's the fun thing. When you go to southern Spain, you can kind of get by with not speaking Spanish. Because there's so many English enclaves in southern Spain, so most of the more developed areas speak English, and there's just loads of English people there. So yes, that Smith. My girlfriend wanted to go to Italy, and I was like, no, we're not. Let's go to Spain where people speak English. Because I go on holiday to Spain all the time. That's how I know people speak English. My dad's pretty good at Spanish, even though he doesn't speak it fluently, just from going there. Cajun stuff is the best in the US. Oh yeah, Max Payne is set in New York, isn't it? Soul Food, NYC Pizza, bagels. Yeah, that's what I really want to try. Like, American food, man. Like, I'm gonna get so fat when I go. Bang Energy. The thing, Singularity, Bang Energy. I actually kind of liked it when I had it because it's like the problem with Monster is they stick so many vitamins in it. And I don't know, it makes you feel like crap, to be honest. Whereas I think Bang tastes a lot lighter, but I still prefer Monster a lot more. Little Fox, what's Goon? Beer and Goon. Yeah, Australia would be cool to go to one day as well. When they flooded, the rats were swimming in the flood water. Yeah, the flood was fucking crazy, actually. I've had Arizona once in the UK from an American shop. I didn't rate it that much, but I need to try some more. The only countries outside America I've been to are Mexico and the Dominican Republic, not even Canada, and I live in Cleveland. Do you want to go to Canada, though? I've been to, obviously, UK. I've been to Scotland, Wales, Republic of Ireland. I've never been to Northern Ireland. I've been to Austria, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Morocco, and is that it? And Iceland. So those are all the countries I've been to. Morocco was cool. That's the first non-European country I've been to, actually. Iceland was my favourite. I like Spain a lot as well. Tenerife is quite close to Africa, but yeah, I've actually been to Africa now. That's weird, actually, because in my mind, like, obviously, like North Africa, you always associate more with the Middle East, but like, obviously Africa. Katie's saying, oh, thanks so much for the donation, Katie. Really appreciate that. Owner came in today because manager quit, and lol, his lip fillers were a lot. That is what my labour is reaping. Yeah, like it is. So it's, I think you said before. So you just work for someone who owns the place you work. So that the boss is like the owner as well. So yeah, nice to see like your exploited labour is paying for those big lip fillers. But no, I appreciate the $10 so much, Katie. As usual, Katie's just funding my lifestyle. Do I speak Gaelic? I wish, Jesus. No, my nana speaks Gaelish. But she Gaelic. But she was born in Ireland and in the 30s. So, but it's making a comeback though. Posh Australian dinner, cut up fermenting fruit, floating in a $5 box wine. That sounds fucking disgusting. Odyssey is perfection. Yeah, I do really like it. Like, it was super solid. I think it will be. I was thinking this in my head. I think Odyssey will be remembered one day like Black Flag. Like, I think out of all the three, I think it's got the for people who don't play Assassin's Creed, it's got the most going for it. Like the mercenary system, the cult system, the ship combat, and just like exploring is really satisfying. Like parking your ship on a Greek island, like jumping off the boat, going on the island, then getting back in your boat. It's something that's really cool. Like I'd love a more modern version of Odyssey, like like a remake of AC4 or something. Am I going to become Adam Jensen? Yeah, because I got the orange sunglasses. I think the best American foods are actually the ones inspired by other cultures. Yeah, I agree. It's the same in the UK. Like I love Chinese food from the UK. It's so good. Obviously in London especially, we have a massive Indian community. So the various Indian cultures all have like their own food. I'm really not a big fan of Indian, to be honest. I'm also not a big fan of Thai. A lot of Thai food. Thai and Vietnamese is better. I'm still not a big fan, to be honest. Like Chinese for me is so much better than the Vietnamese. Thai. I've never had Korean though. Someone was saying Ethiopian is really good. I've never even seen an Ethiopian, but there are like there's a lot of Somali people in London. I don't know about Ethiopian though. Oh, your friend spoke Spanish for both of you in Madrid. That's lucky. Because we don't neither of us speak Spanish. Yeah, Max Payne 3 is awesome as you fight a far-right group. Yeah, the fucking police as well, basically. Yeah, I love Max Payne 3. Bring it out on Switch. I need to play that again. Bang supports Republicans. I think most fucking drink brands do, but yeah, that isn't that guy like isn't the guy who owns it like crazy as well? Drinking culture here is so fucked. Yeah, Australia, I don't know what it is specific. England's culture is either like you're older and just drink all the time, or like just young people binge drink so much at the weekend. Where in Italy? Red Leader, I honestly don't know. I told her that I'd want to go to the north, but that's more expensive. So, pastrami sandwich. Yeah, I gotta get some like sub sandwich or something. Nobody goes to Northern Ireland. My girlfriend's parents really like it, and her dad was born in Dublin, so they really like Belfast, and my girlfriend's brother lives there as well. I mean, I wouldn't really want to go there, but it probably is. But it probably is nice enough. He owns many of these stores where we all wax a badge. You're welcome. Also, CrossFit Abu. Yeah, Kate, I need to get around to that. I was so hyped about doing it, but the problem is most of them have very problematic views on medical science, which I wouldn't really want to talk about on YouTube. That's the only thing holding me back. expanding their sex work into a business. I'm trying to influence that move. How? What does that mean? Like sex work into a business? Does that mean like setting up places for sex work, or just like online business for sex work? Like don't sex workers own what's the OnlyFans sort of thing they own? Is it ManyVids? Is that made by sex workers? Because I was researching this stuff when the OnlyFans stuff was happening like a couple months back. Brandon saying the housing crisis is especially bad in New York. I like it a lot, but living there can get depressing because of it. Yeah, like I read a lot about that with the flooding shit. It sounds really fucking awful. The UK is really bad, but it's because the prices are insane. Mario Odyssey was the best Odyssey. I like Mario Odyssey. I wouldn't even say it's the best Mario game, though. Like, Mario 64 is better than Odyssey, in my opinion. Dragon Ball, I never saw this. I remember how a bunch of right-wingers thought Watch Dogs Legion was supposed to represent the authoritarianism, what happens if the left takes over. It's literally like about a false flag attack done by, like... Actually, the villain in it is a bit disappointing, but at the same time... the politics generally are pretty good. The villain's politics are fucking weird, though. Why do you do your live streams when I'm in bed? I mean, I stay up all night, so I'm not really catering to you. And nearly all my audience is American, so it makes sense. Indonesia, Redley, that's interesting. I'm thinking more early European colonization of South America would be cool. I knew the glasses looked vaguely familiar. Are we talking about the Adam Jensen thing? But yeah. Sour Spark. Do I have people in mind? I mean, just any big creator who starts platforming these people. Maybe people who stream a lot. So take that for take that how you want. Ethiopian food is amazing. Yeah, is it like pancake style stuff? I think I've seen. Thai food is too watery. That's the same with Vietnamese food, to be honest. It doesn't fill me up enough. Indian food is the best. I mean, I have had good Indian food, but I'm not a massive fan. Pad Thai, yeah, I don't like Pad Thai. I've had that. It's fine. It's not like I wouldn't order it though. Max Payne is the only good Rockstar series. Nah, I like Red Dead and I like Grand Theft Auto 4 a lot, and 5 is fun, to be honest, even though I don't think it's the best. NYC Deli, yeah, that's what I need to get. People all recommend me this food. I'm probably not going to fit it in when I go to New York. It's generally hard living in an occupied place like Northern Ireland. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess if you... but because they live in the UK anyway, it probably doesn't really feel like that. Yeah, Praland, my friend's a bodybuilder, and there's so much of that shit in bodybuilding. Spooky Kitty, yeah, you're pretty late. ManyVids, oh, okay, that's what it is. It would be organising independent workers, hiring security. Oh, nice. So is it going to be like a worker co-op thing as well? In the wellness industry, yeah, Kate, it's probably so bad in your industry. The Right Things V for the Vendetta is a right-wing book. Yeah, I made a whole video on that like a few months back. English people stop complaining about Cav's schedule challenge 2021. Yeah, Katie, thank you for speaking up for me. To be honest, I don't mind it, but people are like, why are you up at 2 a.m? Why are you up at 4 a.m? I'm just like I think I've made it pretty clear by how much content I make. Like, I don't work full-time anymore. So I didn't live stream ever when I worked full-time. And now I do it twice a week and upload 3 times a week. So yeah, this is my full-time thing now. And if it's my choice, I like staying up late anyway because it's quiet and peaceful and stuff. I just, I prefer it. And also, my whole audience is American, so it's helpful for everything. Like, news stories breaking, talking to people, Red Leader, I'd like something in India, if we're going to go more to Asia, to be honest. India in like the 18th century. Maybe during the War of Independence would be cool. I want to try... You need to try a Wawa. Katie, I already don't want to try that because the name is dumb, but what is it? Ozymandias was good. Fuck Rorschach. I'm just so annoyed that Rorschach is a ginger in the comics. Wait, is Ozymandias... I've only watched the HBO show. Is Ozymandias the guy who does, like, the false flag alien attack? Wait, so what's Chicago-style pizza? Is it like a pie? Like a... Why are you saying it's a cake? What does that mean? Some people stay up till 2 anyways. I used to go to bed at 1:30 when I had to get up at 6:30, so... Proland, it will be like Corbyn didn't fight hard enough against Brexit. It's all his fault. 100% that will happen. Yesterday was Canada election day. Did you watch it? Someone called me racist for posting Justin Trudeau blackface. I'm like, how does that make me fucking racist? He did it. What, was not meant to post it or something? Which war in Sri Lanka, Red Leader? Do you mean the more modern one, or like Indian colonization or something? No, Raxim, I never played Chronicles, although the story did look cool, like the Bolshevik Revolution and stuff. Oh, it's the greatest convenience store. Okay, Ozymandias is Jeremy Irons in the show. Oh, people having a fight about what what pizza they liked. Compared to many YouTubers, I see you have a more female audience. Yeah, my analytics don't really show that, but I guess in the live stream chat there are more women and stuff. It's probably because of my drip. What do people think? Do more girls watch my stuff because of my drip? It's the orange sunglasses. 100% I know it. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, okay, British imperialism. I don't know much about that, to be honest. Tamil was too recent. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. What's a drip? What, Green Square? You're saying you don't like my drip? It's exclusively the gamer glasses. The Black Angel, I was joking. Yeah, I wasn't being serious. 100% the sunglasses. Yeah, it's my only drip. Oh no, oh no, oh no. This thing is back. How do I get rid of it again? How does it find me? How does it find me? The spam. How the fuck does it keep coming into my streams? Okay, thanks so much for another donation. There's no competition. One is pizza and some kind of toxic cake. I'm really curious now. How can it be bad though? Even if it's like a thicker pie style thing, why? How is it doesn't taste nice? The moment I come back and repair, that bot comes back. It's gone now, man. How long ago was that? It just wouldn't stop. It like millions of it join in. It's a soup. I don't understand. Okay, I'm getting a picture up of this. Chicago style pizza. Alright, let's have a look. Fuck, that is quite big actually. Man, that is massive. It reminds me of like a Kiev or something. like in the UK we do have like brands that do this, but they don't really look like these ones. To be honest, I'm not complaining if it tastes nice though. They call it pizza and it's slander. It looks okay, to be honest. I'd eat some. Too many dollar pizzas. In the US, what is better, Domino's or Pizza Hut? I don't really give a shit, to be honest. I think they're both fine. Like, I'd happily eat either. Pizza Hut's maybe a bit more filling. Oh, this ginger beer is not good. So, my videos this week, I think, on Wednesday, probably going to talk about race swapping. Here's something, actually, maybe it's the last topic or something. So, I want people to listen to my argument. So, like, race swapping is something anti-SJWs talk about a lot. I saw people today, Denzel Washington has been cast as Macbeth in a new Coen Brothers movie about Macbeth, basically. And already people like, I'm not be watching this, like, why is it a black guy when it's a Scottish thing, blah, blah, blah. So obviously we hear about race swapping and people complain about it a load of times. And for me, here's okay, let me know what you guys think of this. So for me, I remember when The Witcher was being rumoured to be on Netflix, and people, I think IGN made an article, it's like, here's who we want to play Geralt. And it had like, it had like 2 white guys, then it had 2 black guys and 2 Asian guys. And for me, like, I didn't care, but I was like, clearly they're not going to cast a black guy as Geralt of Rivia because he's so iconic and stuff. But also Geralt of Rivia is a character that hasn't really been explored much, right? So compared to Macbeth, Macbeth has been played by like thousands and thousands of white dudes. It's like 400 years old, this play. So casting it as a black guy really doesn't fucking matter. The same with like, what's his name, playing the Indian actor, playing King Arthur in The Green Knight and stuff. Like that, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit, like, honestly? So my take on it is like, basically, unless the character is like very minor or like their coverage is kind of small. So like, I get Geralt being like a white character, right? Like I understand that because here's a guy that hasn't really, he is like popular in gaming, but he wasn't very popular in like entertainment in general outside of Poland, mainly just gaming. So, and he's very iconic because he's like an albino. So I understand like the pale skin and everything, but I'm interested what people think. Like if Peter Parker was a black guy in the next one, not that they do this because they have Miles Morales, but if he was a black guy in the next Spider-Man, who would give a shit? Like, does it really matter? Because Peter Parker has been played so many times already by white people, and I want to talk about tokenization as well, how it's like a double-edged sword, because these guys complain about characters being tokenized for like ethnicities or gender or race and stuff like that, but at the same time, for them they're tokenized just for being that. So if I have with Miles Morales, for example, if you say like Spider-Man's gone woke because here you have a half Puerto Rican, half African American character, right? And they say it's like it's just a token thing, but for them it's like it's a token thing if he is just a black guy and they don't really delve into him being a black guy. But it's also tokenization if they actually touch on the issues someone from these two cultures faces in their life. So for anti-SJWs generally, you can't really win because it's always going to be a token character because they're not white. But I was wondering what people think about like the race swapping thing. Like if they made James Bond black and stuff, like who would actually care? Because at the end of the day, James Bond has been played so many times by white actors, and also with James Bond, there's no thing that means they have to be. Sorry, I'm just reporting this bot thing. There's so many especially you could make the argument about like modern Britain and stuff like that as well. So what do people think about that? Oh, he didn't play King Arthur. I thought he played King Arthur. Pizza is so stomach hurty. Pizza is just very heavy, I think, as a meal. That's why I always prefer getting like McDonald's if I'm going for fast food. Brits, I get to decide what pizza is. Some spare bucks handy. Yeah, I mean, I do expect going to America to be expensive. Denzel Washington is an incredible actor. Yeah, he's really good. Lenin never joins the Assassins. Is Lenin good in Assassin's Creed lore? I know Obama was in the Templars. Yeah, have always switched races, even genders. Yeah, Mercutio from Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. I want to see Peter Parker as a black dude, so the right wing explodes in anger. That would be fucking funny, wouldn't it? The quartering is behind the bot. Idris Elba was sort of foreshadowed to play him. Yeah, exactly. Miles Morales' dad is the same name as the president of the Confederates. That was probably like very unintentional. Vodka, beer, wine. Which one do you prefer? Well, for some reason I put vodka in this. I don't even drink, but it just tasted so fiery, and I wanted something to like neutralize it. It doesn't taste very nice. I didn't even know Nick Fury was white before the movies, and I realised I don't care what he is. Yeah, he was always white in the comics, wasn't he? In the Punisher game from 2005, he's white. Yeah, you can have a 00 who isn't James Bond. That's true as well. I mean, at the same time, I think James Bond, because London is so multicultural, like, and England is quite multicultural, it's like not. I don't think it's a bad thing. But you do get the problems of like a black man working for like the intelligence and security state, which probably they wouldn't touch on, to be honest. But like, is that something? Obviously, like there are black people in intelligence, but then I doubt they delve into like, is there a conflict there, doing British imperialism when Britain don't treat you like, you know, an equal and stuff. Nick Fury is white in Ultimate Alliance as well. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to talk about tokenization too, to make it like a broader topic as well. But yeah, like it is like the race swapping thing is dumb to me. Like I understand it for like very specific ones, like The Witcher 3. Like I can understand why that's dumb. Like suggesting like Asian actors play Geralt of Rivia or African Americans. I understand that's a bit silly because it's like, you know, it's just like this character who's has a very unique look, an iconic look for gamers, and it would just feel weird, I guess. Like you're not making him look like the character we know. If there was like as much Witcher adaptations as James Bond or shit like that, then yeah, who gives a fuck, really? It's also like an Assassin's Creed. There was like a Black Viking, and people were like getting so pissed off as well. It's like, who gives a shit? Apparently, there was some like non-white Vikings anyway. So, the Black Angel. It would be cool if they did that with a James Bond character, but it'd also be funny just to trigger so many British conservatives. Yeah, it's too controversial. Yeah, I doubt they would. The most controversial James Bond gets is he's getting old and bad at his job. Yeah, Tom, Hickmet. Yeah, Jeremy always hides behind this stuff. Like the thing is, the most ridiculous shit is the Force stuff I've been covering, saying it's not accurate to the mythology. It's like, it's fucking mythology. It's not even real. Are we doing like it's not accurate to the lore of Greek and Norse mythology now? It's just so fucking funny. It's like, yeah, you anti-SJWs, you care about the purity of Norse religion. Well, some of the fucking Nazis might. But yeah, it's just a video I want to make tomorrow. It's like that race swap for the God of War character. I need to remember to talk about that a bit because people wanted me to. Isn't it Red Leader? Isn't it like Norse people who are Christians writing about it in like the 11th century or something? I'm watching Vikings at the moment actually. It's pretty good to be honest. I asked on Twitter, I was like, do I watch The Last Kingdom or Vikings? I'm well happy I picked Vikings though. Just the acting in it is so much better. The actor of Ragnar is really good. Just like the little mannerisms and the improvisation, you can tell he's doing. He's a really good actor actually. It's crazy. He was also like a farmer in Australia until he was 17, which is pretty mad. Like you play, you actually are a farmer and you play like this famous like warlord farmer as well. But the only problem is I completed Assassin's Creed Valhalla before I watched Vikings, so I pretty much had nearly everything spoiled for me. Not everything, because Vikings takes a lot of liberties. Like Rollo in Vikings is inspired by the real Rollo, who is in Assassin's Creed, but real Rollo wasn't even alive during most of Vikings. So, and real Rollo, I believe, it's just not the same trajectory. It's not like related to Ragnar or some shit. Ragnar the Red in Skyrim, that song. But no, it's a pretty good show in general. Season 3 of Sex Education. Sex Education, I've only watched it a couple of times. My sister's been watching it, and I've walked past and sat down and watched a bit. I hate British shit that tries to be American, so I kind of hate the look of it anyway. But yeah, it's not something I'd watch, to be honest. I can't imagine sitting down and just watching Sex Education. Just not for me. Yeah, Magni and Modi. One of them looks like Thor from the MCU as well. And also, who gives a shit? Like, but people playing Immortals Phoenix Rising, the game about Greek gods, and being like, oh, why does fucking Athena look like that? Or like, why does Ares look like that? It's like, it's a fucking like ancient religion. No one knows what they fucking look like because most of them aren't even based on real people. Some of the Greek people might have been, but like, yeah, like I have seen like a lot of people really like Sex Ed. It is really popular in the UK. I think my girlfriend watches it, but yeah, not really for me. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm gonna watch next. Like Vikings is so fucking long. Yeah, Einar Selvik does so much of the music for Assassin's Creed. I think he actually sings all the songs for your boat as well. Like he sings all the sea shanties. He's like well hardcore with the Norse stuff though. Isn't he like an actual like Norse pagan and stuff? Like he believes in the religion. But he's pretty cool. I watched an interview with him, and it's the woman who did the Brave soundtrack, but she's Scottish Gaelic and she sings in Gaelic, and she did the soundtrack or helped him do the soundtrack for the Island DLC, and they both talking about like ancient dead languages, kind of like ancient Norse and ancient Irish Gaelic, which no one speaks anymore. Like actual ancient Irish Gaelic, not the Gaelic they speak in Ireland today. But yeah, like he seems like a cool guy, and like him singing the sea shanties is funny. I do love him singing the Irish sea shanty when you're in Ireland as well. There was music in Valhalla. I mean, like the score for Valhalla is literally, I think, one of the best video game scores because it has the guy who did Assassin's Creed, the Ezio trilogy, and it's also got the lady who did Origins, and it's got Einar Selvik, who does a lot of the singing stuff for Vikings, the show. So it's really like a all-star cast of people who make soundtracks. Like, it is like, and also the best thing about it is they released all the songs, which most companies like CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk and The Witcher, they don't release most of the soundtrack, which pisses me off all the time because I got to download shit on SoundCloud. But AC Valhalla soundtrack is so good. Just having like 3 really good people all working on it and like extensively doing it is just cool. Oh, Red Leader, there's options in the game settings. You've got to turn it up. It has like, in the audio, it has like score settings, and it's like low, normal, or high chance of you getting the score playing. So you got to put it on high. Even when it's high, it's not enough, but it's still good. My GF watches Sex Education. I hate it so much. I hate it a bit. Yeah, there's settings, Red Leader. You got to turn it up. I think it defaults on medium mainly. Hikmet, I think there might have been some Muslim Vikings. Or no, there are Viking Muslims. Like they some Vikings converted to Islam. I don't know if it's the other way around though. They still have that Viking graffiti in the mosque in Istanbul. What's it called? The really famous one. There used to be a church. But yeah, Vikings used to work as mercenaries for like the Arabs and the Byzantines and stuff. Yeah, Red Leader, you got to turn that music up. The soundtrack is amazing. Like I was listening to it in Scotland with my girlfriend when we were driving, and she thought it was a good choice. And then so I had a playlist, and it had Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, Skyrim, some stuff from Vikings, and a couple other soundtracks. It's really good. I listened to it on my Bluetooth headphones, and we hiked up this mountain. It was really foggy. It literally reminded me of Skyrim. It was really sick, actually. The Hagia Sophia, yeah, that's it. There's actually Viking graffiti still there. It's like Houghton was here or something in Norse ruins or whatever. Based converts. I mean, a lot of people did. Like, the craziest Muslim converts actually were the fucking what are they called? What are those Russian slaves that became like the military and they just got rid of the Arabs? The Mamluks, yeah. So the Mamluks were the Mamluks were Russian slaves sold to the Arabs by the Venetians. Obviously, they all converted to Islam because they're forced to, but they were put in the military. And then the Mamluks did a coup and took over, I think it was Egypt, from the Arabs. And then they were the first people to defeat the Mongols, the Mamluks. It's pretty fucking sick history. Also, like the Janissaries in the Ottoman Empire, who are all like Greek children they stole and became part of like the elite guard and stuff. But yeah, the Mamluks, check out their history, it's pretty cool. Eno is kind of hot, I wouldn't kick him out of my bed. He seems like a nice guy, to be honest. Enemy of my ancestors. Yeah, Hikmat, are you Turkish? Tarbek saying, I agree with you on the race swap thing, but one thing I want to add is that creators must be aware of how people perceive race. Yeah, like, if I wrote a black character, I guess, and he was like, or she was like, had so many, like, I don't know, if I wrote a black character and it was essentially like the magic Negro trope or something, like I wrote him like that, then obviously, like, that's problematic. But the weirdest thing wasn't Straight Out of Compton, is that what it's called? That was written by a white person, I think, which is fucking crazy. The Maggie Arabs? Is that how you say it? If you want to piss off Hungarian nationalists, ask them about what are those what is the one they're getting pissed off about being in what game was it? What's that game set in Bohemia? Kingdom Come Deliverance, and there's like an Asian enemy in it. What's the Asian enemy called? It's like they're like working for the Hungarians or something. I was Jeffrey Epstein into them. But yeah, I guess it's just to breed like loyalty and stuff, isn't it? Like, oh shit, my resolution seems really shit. Where's my stream? So I'm gonna check. But yeah, so that's the video on Wednesday, is the race swap thing, and then what's the other thing I'm gonna do? The Hunter Avalon stuff, hopefully on Friday. The thing is, what I hate about Friday videos is I stay up so fucking late finishing
Avalon
them,
stuff, hopefully.
and then what happens is like Monday comes around so quick. I'm like, for fuck's sake, what do I even make a video about? Humans. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny. I've been playing Deliverance. Yeah, Red Leader. I really, really love the setting because I did a fair bit of history about like what the fuck are they called? Those Bohemian Christians that rebelled against the Empire. What was it? The shit. What are they called? They wanted to like they were importing like John Wycliffe Bibles or some shit, or they wanted to translate the Bible. They're inspired by John Wycliffe, the British guy, the English guy who translated the Bible in like the 1300s. But what are they called? The Hussites. I was gonna say that the Hussites. Yeah, that's pretty funny. The Hussites, like they like rebel so hard. It's like, okay, you can be like, it's basically like Protestant, not technically Protestants, but it's like, yeah, we're gonna fucking leave the church if you don't like give in to our demands and stuff. That was pretty funny. It's like a form of like unorthodox Catholicism that they tolerate just because they just won't stop fighting them. One of the things that pissed me off about Game of Thrones was that there was no black people in Westeros. Yeah, The Witcher has quite a diverse cast, even though the games don't really. So it is like an interesting choice to not have any of those people. Smith Black, thanks so much for another donation. So kind of you. The best part about history is that if you read a book about an event, you know more about it than 90% of people. It's a bit hyperbolic, but true. Yeah, Smith Black. It for most periods of history, it's true. It's probably even higher than 90%. Like loads of stuff, because history is like the popular things in terms of like I don't know, First Crusade or Third Crusade, World War One, World War Two, the Civil War, Vietnam War, stuff like that. Where certain things get a bit more forgotten, like the Korean War, for example, is a big one, which is like a big event, but the historiography on it is quite small compared to the other things. If you're going back in time, if we're talking about like the Hussite rebellion, like who the fuck knows about that anymore? Or like or like John Wycliffe and stuff. Like if you read a book about John Wycliffe, you'll be a fucking expert compared to most people. So yeah, it is like an interesting thing. I need to get back reading. I got up Smedley Butler's book about war being a racket, and I read the fucking acknowledgements. I just didn't fucking read the rest of it. And then what else? I want to read about the history of the world series I've been been reading. But the book I read last was 1100 to 1500, and I want to read the one which is 400 to 1100 because thanks to Vikings and Assassin's Creed, I've been really into like post-Roman history a lot more, which I've never really given. That's why I love Assassin's Creed so much. I've literally never given a shit about Viking history, Roman history, or Greek history, and now I like really love it after playing those games. Like it's so, just with like movies, it's just so much better if you visualize something, you get so much more invested in it. And that's why I think like, because the Greek stuff is so fucking old, it's like 2,500 years old, and like you know, it's hard to put yourself there like these days, but that's why I think Assassin's Creed is so good. And also what I noticed really because of the update of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, what I love so much about the differences between the games is Odyssey is so colourful, like Mediterranean and everything, but I put on Valhalla afterwards and it's so like austere and like dark and brown and muddy, a lot of it, and I was like, it's such a nice contrast between them, really, just because it depicting the different periods. Like here's like this golden age of like learning and civilization, and here's like this really backwards time of just like basically like brutal conflict and stuff. See you later, Katie. Thanks so much for joining, and thanks for the donations. Really appreciate it, as usual. Hopefully I'll see you on Thursday if I stream then. Am I the only Turk in the chat? Maybe. Alright, I've been streaming for quite a while. I gotta watch some more Hunt at Avalon videos. You'll be happy to know. So I might end it there actually as well. As Katie leaves, I might leave as well. But yeah, I appreciate the comments tonight. Wait, you got into some seriously dark shit. You won't be sleeping well. Are you talking about me? yeah, Odyssey has good diversity. The islands have people with darker skin, very much Greek. Yeah, there's a good bit of diversity actually. One of the characters is not a main character. One of the main quest characters is like a black mercenary and stuff. The ending of the first DLC is quite cool actually. Thank you for your service, Cav. No problem. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Singularity. I appreciate it, and thanks for participating in the chat. Always nice to like get to know people. I do like how I recognise a lot more of you. Think Singularity and the Black Angel and Hikmet are a bit newer, where Red Leader is old and Little Fox is moderately old, although I do recognise Little Fox from at least like a fair few months ago, and Raxum as well. A couple people. King John was in here earlier, and I remember him from ages ago as well. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave it there though. Look out for the video tomorrow, just about race swapping. Check out the video from yesterday about Gabby Petito if you give a shit about any of that true crime stuff, and hopefully get that big old banger of a video out on Friday about Hunter Avalon. We'll see. I got a lot of fucking stuff to watch about him first though. And yeah, just have a good rest of your week. If you don't tune in on Thursday, I would be on more, but I should be asleep. Yeah, you probably should be. But I archive all the stuff on the Kavernacle Extra if you want to catch up. Yeah, Tom Fury. If you read about how Greek nationalists talk about Greek history, it's fucking wild. Like Golden Dawn started off as pagans, but then they realised most Greek nationalists idealized the Byzantine Empire, not necessarily the pagan Greek and stuff. So they had to fucking change their nationalism to instead of focusing on Sparta and although they did still focus on Sparta and Athens so much, they had to talk about the Byzantine Empire instead. Yeah, British Museum filled with looted artifacts. Yeah, I know it is. Looking forward to the content. Take care. Yeah, thanks so much everyone. Appreciate the nice words as well. Appreciate the donations. I'm a Greek American. Oh, okay, so you probably know. Sorry, I didn't know you were Greek. But yeah, it's pretty wild. They're fucked. Yeah, they are. They're fucked now because they're all in prison or ran off to Serbia. All right then. But yeah, like I said, thank you so much all for tuning in. And another stream on Thursday. This is archived in the Kavernacle Extra. It'll be up tomorrow. And just keep an eye on the channel. Put your notifications on if you don't want to miss streams and stuff. And yeah, see you guys.